Good evening and welcome to day 4 of the International Great Black Read Aloud Day 2024 edition. My name is LD Robinson and I am thankful to be back with you again tonight for day 4. This is our 4th year of reading and we are here at the International Great Black Read Aloud Day giving voice to words written by Black people all around the world. And this is day 4, which is our marriage day. Before we get to our reading selection today, we want to invite you to subscribe to our website if you haven't already. It is greatblackreadaloudday.org. And you can also follow us online on social media at Black Read Aloud. That is our handle on all platforms. We partner with Fresh Book Festival for literacy. And we want to invite you to this year's Fresh Book Festival, which is February 22nd through the 24th in Daytona Beach, Florida. Again, Fresh Book Festival will be held this year, February the 22nd through the 24th in Daytona Beach, Florida. And we invite you to get your tickets at freshbookfestivals.net. There is a film festival on the 22nd, and the 23rd and 24th will be the book festival days. There will be authors from all over the country that will be in attendance, and it is a wonderful time of meeting authors, buying books, of course, promoting literacy, and enjoying different types of workshops to help develop you as an author. And so it is a wonderful 3 days, a wonderful investment into your career as an author and as a book lover as well. Well, today is day 4 and it is marriage day, and we have our selection for today. And because I am reading from my e reader and using a virtual background, I can't show it to you. But our title for today, we will show it this way as we did yesterday. Our title for today is Freedom from Unhealthy Relationships, The Secrets to Building Strong and Lasting Bonds, Resolve Conflicts, Improve Intimacy, and Overcome Codependency by Joseph Ajayi. And as we said we were going to do, while we are this year giving voice to words written by Black people all over the world, we're going to let you know where our authors are from. And he is originally from Nigeria. And it is our pleasure to bring this selection to you today, which is day 4 of marriage. And the full title here is below so that you can see the author's information as well, if you would like to get the book. And we're going to be reading from chapter 1, which is at the beginning of the book, but it's a pretty profound chapter. It lays the basis for the rest of the book. And so I think it's a very meaningful chapter. Chapter 1, Knowing an Unhealthy Relationship. Quote, "Don't light yourself on fire trying to brighten someone else's existence." Charlotte Erickson, an eminent author. Every being, whether a man or woman, deserves joy, satisfaction, and security by enjoying the perks of a healthy relationship. For ages, people from different places and cultures have followed the tradition of uniting two people in a wedding knot as a religious act of procreation. As is often said and believed, marriages are made in heaven. Almost every married couple dreams of having a peaceful and happy life ever after. But many times the uncertainties of life bring us to such a pathway where we can't even decide what to do or how to respond to the situation that crops up before us. As God has created all of us from the dust of the ground, none of us are perfect in any sphere of our lives. Thus, it is very typical for us to commit mistakes, which often become the prime reason for the challenges and pains in a relationship that eventually put us through various ordeals. So let's understand the value of a happy and healthy relationship by comprehensively construing the exact picture of an unhealthy relationship. Healthy relationship versus unhealthy relationship. A marital relationship exhibits various colors and emotions among all the relationships we are blessed with in our lives. Every little thing is essential in defining the type of relationship one lives in. A husband and a wife are like two wheels of a cart, and it is sometimes impossible to maintain a perfect balance and harmony in life without the cooperation and efforts of either of them. Moreover, various elements in a relationship like trust, respect, love, and compassion genuinely govern the quality of one's life. As everyone is different and holds a unique set of emotions, attitudes, thought processes, behavioral patterns, and desires, we see myriad relationships blooming around us in the silhouette of nuptials. Apparently, it is not a cakewalk to maintain a healthy relationship in wedlock, as many ups and downs make the journey a roller coaster ride. It requires a genuine and adequate commitment to make a relationship last long. It is expected to have differences in opinions and personal interests among couples, which can result in clashes and arguments. However, such conflicts don't mean that there is no love or a lack of compatibility in a relationship. A healthy relationship supports the growth and development of both individuals by providing the required space, liberty, and honor to express themselves and be their true selves. Unlikely in an unhealthy relationship, the partners don't share a friendly tie, but instead display a competitive attitude accompanied by various negative feelings like jealousy, hatred, or mistrust. In extreme cases, either of the partner ends up becoming the victim of verbal abuse, mental distress, physical torture, and at times even sexual harassment. Living and carrying on a happy and fruitful married life demands a great sense of accountability. Otherwise, it may result in harmful competition with the partner, which can probably be a blame game, maybe making one's life miserable. Apart from this, one has to exhibit an excellent level of adaptability by listening to and accepting the thought processes and suggestions of one's spouse. At every step of a marriage, many challenging situations require the nerve of steel to handle and overcome them. It is effortless to spoil a relationship, but it takes years to create love and compatibility with each other to create a pleasant and flourishing atmosphere that can be a stepping stone in the journey of making a happy family. Ending a relationship and running away from life's problems is not the ultimate freedom. Instead, one needs to gather all one's strength and wit to make a wise decision by considering all the aspects of life to enjoy the desired relationship. So, keeping one's ego and agony aside, it is necessary to think about the mental health condition, social behavior, and attitude of your partner before deciding whether your relationship is healthy or unhealthy. An unhealthy relationship versus a toxic relationship. In life, we always strive and expect the best for ourselves in every aspect, but we never know what lies ahead. Often, our destiny brings us to a situation where it is up to all of us to decide what is best for us. Sometimes, our inborn qualities, behaviors, and attitudes save us from becoming prey to something unpleasant. Still, at other times, these traits can only become a reason for our pain and destruction. When talking about married relationships, we need to clearly know and understand that there is a fine line between an unhealthy relationship and a toxic one. When two different individuals come together, it is very logical for them to have differences in opinions, thoughts, and ideas. Many times, despite being aware and educated about different easy and friendly ways to communicate with a partner, people opt for complex and harsh behavior. Every marriage generally begins on a positive and happy note, but the scenario doesn't remain the same for life. Numerous unseen reasons crop up as one tries to adjust and compromise in wedlock, making one's life a challenge. While we look around us, we may find that many couples who never plan a date night, go out to shop with each other, attend family functions, or watch movies together. But this does not make their relationship toxic, as there can be many possible reasons and explanations for such unusual behavior. However, if this act is mutual and the couple understands each other, they will never end up arguing or fighting over this stuff. Many times, problems on the professional front and various other family pressures may preoccupy an individual's mind, creating negativity within them. These negativities get further aggravated by the indifferent behavior of the spouse, which eventually triggers the bad wolf within. The bad wolf refers to all the unwanted negative emotions and feelings that hover in one's mind, making one vulnerable and violent. All this compels an individual to exhibit the worst side of their personality by indulging in verbal abuse and physical violence with their partner. With the commencement of any such unjust, violent act, a married relationship enters the category of a toxic relationship, which evidently differentiates it from an unhealthy relationship. Types of unhealthy relationships. Not all married relationships start with abuse or violent activities. Many of them never enter an abusive phase. However, the harsh truth of life is that a few of these heavenly relationships do suffer the hardships of domestic violence. Looking out for a fantastic partner who attracts you with their charm and treats you in the right way is not always a dream come true for all. Instead, it is more of a fantasized reality for many, as the red flags and flaws of your married partners make you witness an inescapable nightmare. Falling in love and joining in holy matrimony with the person of your choosing is truly a divine gift, even though at times one may inadvertently overlook the more profound meaning hidden beneath a disarray of life's challenges and imperfections. The initial days of marriage are full of love and passion to explore one another, which fills the days with excitement and exhilaration. However, a happy start may differ from many, except if the right decisions and compromises are in place. Sometimes being in a married relationship may seem burdensome, overwhelming, and more like an arduous task, which marks the beginning of an unhealthy marriage. Often, marriage can be perceived as a gift box that provides immense pleasure when you get it in your hand while unaware of what it may carry. Similarly, sometimes you may end up in an unhealthy or toxic relationship that slowly and gradually deteriorates you from within, just like a termite eats away at a log of wood. Research reveals that at least one out of every four women and one in every 10 men are victims of intimate partner physical violence in their entire lifetime. While explicitly talking about the United States, around 20 people experience physical abuse by their partners every minute, which approximates to about 15% of intimate partner physical and emotional abuse. And these are from Cherry 2018, referenced here in the book. Having knowledge and insight about the various types of unhealthy relationships is crucial to help one identify and unveil the puzzled behaviors of their partner, which can help in taking the proper steps to protect oneself from a severe emotional breakdown. So, let's explore the varied levels of unfriendliness in a married relationship that can quickly help you differentiate between unhealthy and toxic relationships. A stagnant relationship type number one. Each relationship has different phases and keeps changing with time, especially the bonding between the couples, which witnesses a wide range of transitioning emotions with the passing years. Sometimes the love, passion, and excitement to be with your partner begin to die down as time progresses. In this dull and depressing phase of one's love life, you may feel like nothing is working to reignite the spark between you and your spouse. Being stuck in the whirl of a stagnant relationship feels like you have no space left for two-way communication and romance. One feels a lack of trust and understanding, which often results in fights. This type of relationship can drain you both physically and emotionally, as you think that there is no love or connection with your spouse anymore. Being in a stagnant relationship could make you feel like nothing is going as planned and everything seems to be on the verge of despair. Many simple reasons can drift among the couples, like being preoccupied with the daily chores, the inability to balance personal and professional life, a lack of communication, miscommunication, no growth, fixed mindsets, and mismatched lifestyles and values. Number two, the carefree relationship. A marriage is said to be successful when two people come together to share their thoughts, emotions, and responsibilities with a promise to stand firm with each other in all phases of life. We all have many expectations from our partners, but sometimes when they fail to live up to those expectations, it may create issues. Especially being with someone who seems to show little concern for anything can feel quite burdensome. When your partner is negligent about your expectations, priorities, and dreams, it may burden the relationship. In a carefree relationship, the partner is reluctant to adjust according to the hopes and will of their spouse, which gradually worsens the scenario. However, marriage is about coping with situations by consistently learning, accepting, and tolerating the weaknesses of your soulmate. But when the efforts are only from one side and the other partner is carefree about every little thing, it begins to detach the feelings, causing a drift between them. However, unlike other toxic relationships, there is always scope to get things back to normal by talking about the differences with each other, offering help and support, changing one's attitude, or proactively finding a solution for the stubborn attitude by seeking help from a counselor. The competitive relationship. Marriage is not just a contract to live and share. Instead, it is more like an amazing game of life in which you and your spouse are the real teammates who work for the progress and betterment of each other, supporting each other through the thick and thin of life. In married life, nothing is called mine or yours, it is simply us. However, sometimes couples cannot work together as a team and often compete with each other. A competitive relationship begins with either the two partners showing competitiveness, eventually exhibiting the same behavior on both ends. Insecurity is the biggest culprit in these relationships, which ultimately builds up a lot of jealousy, secretive habits, finding pleasure in the pain of one another, and looking for instances to put down their partners. A competitive relationship usually begins with a concealed phase, where the gestures of the insecure partner are not visible. Still, gradually they build up to the point where their impacts are hurtful and evident. A competitive relationship has envy, which is often the beginning stage of ending up in a hostile or resentful relationship. When extreme levels are crossed, this type of relationship can also end up in toxicity, like an abusive relationship where one partner tries to manipulate and control the other out of jealousy, insecurity, and unhealthy competition between them. Next, the sociopath relationship. Getting into a relationship with a sociopath may or may not be toxic, but if it is, then it does cause immense pain and emotional trauma. A sociopath is mostly the self-obsessed one who lacks empathy for their partners, is manipulative for their benefit, hardly shows up in needs of others, and exhibits no guilt, shame, or remorse after hurting others. Being in a lifelong and pious relationship after marrying a sociopath can harm your peace of mind and mental health. Some of the common signs that can help you identify if your soulmate is a sociopath is arrogant behavior, a superficial charming attitude, pathological lying, impulsive behaviors, never following the rules, which can end up in violence or hurting others, and using abusive and guilt trip tricks to change the game. Being in a sociopath relationship can have harsh impacts on your mental as well as physical health, as it may cause mental illness, stress, and trauma, let you lose control over your temperament, disable you from concentrating on work life, and in extreme cases, isolate you from family and close friends. Even if your sociopath partner is not exhibiting violent or abusive behaviors, it is still not easy to spend your entire life with them. Sociopaths have no control over themselves and thus portray a spectrum of behaviors that confuse and drain you mentally. Therefore, when a relationship with someone who exhibits sociopathic traits becomes detrimental to your well-being, it is crucial to seek help, as nothing should take precedence over your health and overall wellness. The narcissistic relationship. Being in a relationship with a narcissistic partner can make you feel alone, uncared for, and unheard. In the initial days of your relationship, a narcissist would show healthy emotions and feelings like kindness, compassion, and love. However, as time passes, your narcissistic soulmate begins to reveal their true color and exhibit rude, manipulative, and abusive behavior. An uncontrolled narcissistic behavior of a spouse may result in a breakdown of the partner's self confidence, self worth, and self esteem, as their repeated behaviors of gaslighting, criticism, and rageful reactions could damage one's self image. Striving in such a negative relationship can be emotionally draining, incredibly exhausting, and challenging to handle. Some of the common signs that can help one identify a narcissistic partner are: they are more interested in self talk, give preferences to themselves, show less or no concern for their soulmates, are manipulative, are oversensitive to criticism, and are always in need of compliments from others as well as their partners. Many simple ways can help one face a situation without doubting oneself. For instance, practicing self care, exploring yourself, setting healthy boundaries, and giving up unrealistic expectations from your narcissistic partner can possibly help you cope with the worst scenarios. The next relationship, resentful relationship. Sometimes being maltreated may initiate a nagging behavior that hovers over one's mind, swinging between feelings of disappointment and anger. Every relationship starts on a happy note. However, gradually, both partners may begin to have conflict over the little things in life, like having different opinions about things, unmatched goals and expectations, or different life priorities. These conflicting thoughts tend to pile up in one's mind and create a perception of not being treated the right way, which eventually causes resentment. In a resentful relationship, it is challenging for partners to share genuine feelings of care, kindness, compassion, empathy, trust, and honesty toward each other. Instead, these feelings are replaced by jealousy, anger, ill will, frustration, and bitterness toward each other. In most cases, being in such a toxic relationship becomes a demanding task that may drain your positivity, confidence, and enthusiasm for living life to the fullest. Some of the most common signs of identifying if you are feeling resentment in your relationship are a consistent feeling of disappointment and anger toward your partner, a lack of empathy, reduced intimacy, frequent complaining about your spouse, using sarcastic remarks, feeling agitated, and wanting to escape from this burdening relationship. The abusive relationship. Identifying the abuse and dealing with it can be a challenging task. Abuse of any kind is damaging and hurtful, physical or emotional. Emotionally abusive relationships are more sophisticated and are like a toxic mind game that eventually drains the partner's energy, peace of mind, and courage to navigate through the depressing situations. If your partner displays an unpredictable flow of emotions and affection, then you are living in an abusive relationship. It's not essential that in an abusive relationship, both partners are equally involved in creating issues and toxicity. Sometimes it can be the one who figures out the probable ways to manipulate their spouse or the situation until it worsens. It is difficult to guess about abusive relationships from the outside, as in most cases, everything looks normal and perfect to the people around. One common trait of an abusive partner is that they try to make things look normal to their spouse to clarify and justify their acts, for they believe they are normal and not harmful. In such cases, it is pretty demanding for the victim to understand if they are living in a toxic relationship. In a healthy relationship, the couples have conflicts that are then solved through arguments, debates, and the sharing of opinions by both partners. However, in an abusive relationship, one partner tries to take control of the thoughts, actions, and feelings of their spouse using several manipulative tricks like isolating them from their family and close friends, taking over financial management, emotional blackmail, guilt trips, and coercion. It is very challenging being in an abusive relationship. The violent relationship. Every relationship, even the strongest and healthier ones, has some conflict, argument, or disagreement over specific topics at some point in time. However, using any violent activity to threaten your partner is not normal. Instead, it is an act of relationship violence, which is wrong. Sometimes either of the partners tries to use improper gestures or acts of violence to create terror over their spouse and develop power and control over them. A violent relationship can be anything from physical torture to emotional abuse, sexual harassment, and verbal or financial abuse. Apart from the physical abuse that includes hitting, slapping, choking, and punching, a violent partner can also try to force you to do any sexual act like kissing, touching, or marital rape without your consent. Furthermore, preventing one from using money or contacting their family and friends is another form of a violent relationship. A violent relationship is the extreme form of an unhealthy relationship between couples. Living in a toxic relationship like this one can take a toll on your emotional, physical, and psychological well being, impacting your life drastically. Therefore, staying away from a violent relationship becomes an urgent need of the hour. Nevertheless, various obstacles, such as the presence of young children, societal expectations, limited financial and family support, and personal insecurities and apprehensions, can fasten the burdensome chains that hinder individuals from extricating themselves from such a relationship. In each chapter, the author gives required action steps. And the action steps for this chapter in healthy versus unhealthy relationships, there are several, and we're going to lay those out. Number one, it is a must for every individual in a relationship to know and understand the difference between a healthy and a toxic relationship. Number two, one must be mindful of the fine line that distinguishes an unhealthy relationship from a toxic relationship, as it can help one manage their relationships better. Number three, after knowing about the status of one's relationship, one must take immediate steps to mend the relationship before it gets too late. Number four, performing reflective activities and interacting with the partner can help one analyze the level of toxicity in their relationship. Number five, adopting a passive approach and expecting destiny to steer your relationship is unwise, for it is said, quote, God will not do what he can do until we do what we should do, end quote. Life is inherently unpredictable and can present various challenging situations within relationships. Therefore, maintaining mental readiness for both the highs and lows and seeking appropriate help is a fundamental principle one should uphold to navigate life's twists and turns with grace and minimize chaos. Remember the word of the Messiah, quote, in me you may have peace. In the world you will have tribulation, but be of good cheer. I have overcome the world. That is from John 16:33. Again, our selection for today has been Freedom from Unhealthy Relationships and by Joseph Ajayi, who hails from Nigeria, although he is based here in the United States. Well, we are excited about today, day four, which is our marriage day. And we hope that this has been a good selection for you. We choose our books simply based on what we come across throughout the year. We are reading different books, and we come across different books in various places, and so we make decisions about this will be a good selection. And so we hope that this selection for today, marriage, has encouraged you to do the work so that you can experience the beauty of what marriage is intended to be. And if you're not married, may it help you to identify those things so that you make the right choice. And we are super excited about what we are doing here at the International Black Read Aloud Day, what we call TIGBRAD. And we want you to join us. So if you like to read along with us, we invite you to do so. And we are going to put up our schedule that is coming that we have for this month. We're reading 29 days, and our schedule for this month is as follows. Tomorrow it is Adventure Day, and we have a great book of adventure for you. And we hope you'll join us at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And we do it at 9 p.m. because it helps us to straddle multiple time zones. And so that we get people who are perhaps traveling to work, or they're just waking up, and people who are in different time zones, they're selling in for the night, whatever it may be. So join us at 9 o'clock tomorrow, February the 5th, for Adventure Day. If you'd like to read along with us, this is how we invite you to do it. Announce the title of the literature, identify the author, identify yourself, read for at least 5 to 7 minutes. Don't forget to tag your video, the International Great Black Read Aloud Day, and Tig Brad. And don't forget to invite your family and friends. Again, our selection for today has been Freedom from Unhealthy Relationships, The Secrets to Building Strong and Lasting Bonds, Resolving Conflicts, Improve Intimacy, and Overcome Codependency by Joseph Ajayi. And we will be back tomorrow for another day of great reading aloud here at the International Great Black Read Aloud Day. My name is LD Robinson, so have a good night.